Herzlich willkommen zurück in unserem kleinen, süßen Büro 427 bei Stanley Parable. Wir sind in der letzten Folge durch diesen Mindfuck-Salat schon durchgestapft.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Das haben wir ja alles schon mal gehört. Ich überlege, ob ich das Spiel gerade noch ein kleines bisschen leiser mache. Irgendwie habe ich das Gefühl, der akzeptiert einfach meine Eingabe nicht für Lautstärke. So. Blöpp, blöpp. Okay. Weiter geht's. Beim letzten Mal sind wir ja irgendwie im Credit-Bereich gelandet.
Stanley came to a set of two open doors. He entered the door on his left.
Jawohl. Diesmal halten wir uns an die Regeln. So, da sind wir nämlich.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Genau, zu dem müssen wir. Wir können ja hier nochmal rein.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and
got
back on track.
Ich glaube, wie ich das Spiel einmal ausgemacht hatte zwischendurch, zwischen den Aufnahmen. Der hat ja beim letzten Mal, als wir wieder hier reingegangen sind, hat er ja einen anderen Text gesagt. Aber dann...
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Halten wir uns an die Regeln. Oder zumindest das, was uns der Erzähler sagt. Was ist denn hier eigentlich? Oh. Hier ist auch nichts. So.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Nein, auf gar keinen Fall. Was mich wundert, ist, dass ich hier diesen kleinen weißen Cursor bekomme, aber hier gar nichts machen kann. Naja, 2845. Was? Wieso ist denn der so langsam?
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination... Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
So, genau. Jetzt müssen wir hier runter. Und dann werden wir diesmal in die Mind Control Facility reingehen. Bin mal sehr gespannt, was uns da erwartet.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Na, dann schauen wir mal.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Genau, hier sind wir nicht das letzte Mal. Sind wir zu Escape gegangen, diesen gruseligen langen Gang. Und sind dann irgendwie schlussendlich bei den Credits rausgekommen. Also geht's heute mal in die Mind Control Facility. Das klingt ja auch sehr einladend.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Oh. Mehr kann ich hier nicht machen? Nee. Ich würde gerne sehen, was da genau drauf... Das sieht aus, als wären das die random Zahlen, die Stanley am Anfang immer bekommt, die er einfach auf seiner Tastatur drückt. So, da ist ein Kamera-Icon. 3 Arbeitsplätze, aber okay.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. the lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Alter, krass. Und es gibt nur 2, so wie ich das sehen kann, die da irgendwie mit roter Schrift, also die kein Büro zeigen. Das ist einmal da. Hä? Okay, jetzt sind alle wieder weg. Ich meine, da drüben wäre noch einer gewesen. Ja, da. Gibt nur 2. Ja. Und da ist jemand gefeuert. Oh Gott, das sind schon... Oh Gott. Da sind ein paar gefeuert worden. Wer weiß, was gefeuert hier meint.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Fragen über Fragen.
No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Oh.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Ja. Sobald ich die gefunden habe, die Controls. Da passiert ja gar nichts. Da wird ja überhaupt nicht mein Belohnungszentrum angesprochen. Wenn ich Knöpfchen drücke, dann möchte ich ein Feedback. Na gut. Facility Power it is. Das ist schon geil aufgebaut. Mind controls idle, awaiting input.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Ich möchte aber... Nein.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going.
Ich lasse ihn einfach zu Ende brabbeln.
I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever up.
Hallo? Da habe ich wohl wieder nicht so gehandelt, wie man das wollte. Na gut.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
Das war ein neuer Text. Aber hier hat sich immer noch nichts geändert. 420. Hier ist alles immer noch so wie... Da würde ich gerne rein.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Wir können ja jetzt noch mal rechts lang gehen.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Oh. Stimmt, hier sind wir. Hier waren wir noch gar nicht.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Okay, ich werde jetzt sofort aufhören damit. Wo sind wir denn jetzt gelandet? Will cause death. Ja, das kann ich mir vorstellen. Komme ich hier rein? Nee, ne? Brauche ich eine Karte. Dann stelle ich mich da einfach mal drauf.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you forgot. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Okay. Ich war einfach nur neugierig, weil ich gesehen habe, dass man da runterspringen kann. Vor allem 2B5, das sind doch schon wieder...
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Es ist schrecklich. Ich kann nicht tun, was mir andere sagen. Außerdem mag ich Blau viel lieber als Rot. Ich will wissen, was hinter Blau ist, wenn ich da nicht rein darf. Das ist doch viel zu verlockend. Wir gehen Blau. Nein, gehen wir nicht. Scheiße. Oh, nee, ich muss es wissen.
Perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Also jetzt erst recht.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Nein.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far.
Skill trees finde ich cool.
Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Oh ja, das finde ich... Das gefällt mir. Das erinnert mich an die Counter-Strike-Maps mit Surf oder diese Jump-Maps.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Finde ich schon gut mit der dritten Option. Aber ich bin noch nicht... Also da geht noch ein klitzekleines bisschen mehr. Also ich würde sagen, eine gute 4.
Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Clearly there's something here that speaks to you. If I can be honest here, I really don't have any idea where I'm going with this. This whole third door thing was just a stab in the dark. But I guess you're into it, so let's keep this party train rolling. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Was? Das Stanley Parable Worldwide Leaderboard? 2 Sekunden? Did you know that 21.3% of players skip the intro sequence? Only the worst 3% of players... Was? Does it take you to get to the correct door? Compete against others? This is you. Nein. Ich habe ganz kurz gedacht, dass es wirklich echte Daten sind. Aber das mit den Türen, was hier eben stand, könnte natürlich sein. Jetzt fängt hier auch schon... Hier fängt das ja jetzt auch schon an mit irgendwelchen texturfreien Elementen. Okay, und jetzt kann ich einfach machen, was ich will. Niemand sagt mir was. Dann gehe ich nochmal hier rein.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
Ja, nee, weiß ich nicht. So Leaderboards geben mir eigentlich nichts. 1 oder 2. Ich mach mal eine 2.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Was ist denn hier los?
Crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Oh ja. Ganz kurz, der Sound ist so laut. So. Das ist ein Spiel, das ich unbedingt 4 Stunden lang spielen will. Und trotzdem klickt man. Okay, letztes Mal. Jetzt lasse ich ihn reinkrabbeln. Du bist selber schuld! Mach das nicht!
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Das ist ja super nice.
Well, Stanley, is this any better? At last, the one thing you've always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough? Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever be enough? Well, I'll say this. I'm done making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house. This will go here, no, here, and then... Let's see, what does it need? Yes, of course, and just to finish it all off, yes, it's complete. I made this, Stanley. Look at it. Gaze upon my work of art and feel ashamed at your own inadequacy. Ah, but you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable.
Oh ja, das ist wirklich schön. Ich passe nicht rein. Oh, ich muss...
Isn't it grand? Isn't it perfect? It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond. Diamond everything. Yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
Okay. Wie absurd das alles ist. Diamanten. Wir holen Diamanten. Ne, wir müssen ja aber Fackeln setzen.
It looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
Nein, ich habe kein Licht.
Oh, no. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5. Even the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay, new game.
Das war gerade... Oh, ich fand auch immer in Minecraft, das war richtig gruselig, wenn man diese Sounds gehört hat, wenn man kein Licht mehr hatte unten in den Minen. Das ist Portal.
Yes, I don't even know what this game is, but I love it.
Das ist doch nicht wahr.
Trapped in a glass box with no way out, listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspired. I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is.
Ach, Portal, ey, das war auch ein geniales Game. Beide Teile. Ich hab's geliebt.
Oh, it's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley. Your forte.
Bob.
Genius.
Dann habe ich alles schon gespielt.
You know what? I think that's plenty. I really don't care much to see you stumble through any more of these games, and I highly doubt you're any wiser for the experience. Which is why, rather than continue to waste my time, I'm just...
Hallo? Mr. Erzähler? Flink Cabinets? Ach so. Work in progress. Bisschen düster hier unten, ne? Hallo? Nein, scheiße. Oh Gott. Wo? Licht? Hallo? Hallo? Ich kann kaum was erkennen hier bei mir. Ich guckte gerade auf den Kontrollbildschirm. Ihr könnt zum Glück noch ein bisschen was erkennen. Ich musste ab und zu, glaube ich, rüber gucken, damit ich weiß, wo ich hingehe. Okay, ich habe jetzt schon jegliche Orientierung verloren. Ach, du Scheiße. Okay, wir gehen einfach mal den Flur entlang. Und hoffen auf das Beste. Oh. Jetzt weiß ich, wo wir sind. Das war doch gerade die Doppeltür, die erste, wo wir uns entscheiden mussten. Gehen wir gerade zurück zu unserem Büro? Ja, 427. Das ist unser Räumchen. Sieht nur bedeutend anders aus. Okay, wir gehen nochmal zurück zum Licht. Ist immer eine gute Idee. Hallo?
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Hallo? Oh. Ich habe nichts gedrückt, Leute. Also. Krass. Jetzt sind wir einfach... Aber es sieht ganz anders aus.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, da ist wieder die gute alte
When
Auswahl.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. He entered the door on his left.
Ich kann doch jetzt nicht schon wieder rechts gehen. Aber ich meine, hier passiert ja noch nichts Schlimmes.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow.
Ja.
Yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Ja, dann machen wir das auch
And so
diesmal.
he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Ja, ich möchte nur gerade mal auf Speichern gehen. Ich glaube, deswegen hatte der das. Neuer Speicher. Wieso löschen? Lass mich doch speichern! Was soll das? Ach, guck mal. Okay. Alles gut. Dann machen wir nämlich hier weiter. Ich hatte nämlich beim letzten Mal überhaupt nicht drüber nachgedacht, ob das Spiel automatisch speichert oder ob ich das machen muss. Aber wir hatten mal wieder eine sehr verdrehte Folge Stanley Parable und ich bin gespannt, wie viel hier noch passiert, wie viele Twists und wie viele Möglichkeiten es da noch gibt. Ich bin sehr gespannt, Leute. Wir sehen uns in der nächsten Folge. Es wird wahrscheinlich wieder Mindfuck hoch 3. Macht's gut.